We're going to make this type of pocket that usually are added to your tote bags, on the inside of the tote bag. And usually they don't have a zipper. It's just the piece of fabric, the square, and it's open on the top so you can put your phone or whatever. But we're going to make it with a zipper. And so when you open it like this is what you have. This is how it looks. I've made 2 so far, and we're gonna make 2 more. So I have my panels here. You can make your pockets really any size you like. So in this case, I am going to make the pocket 10 inches wide by 7.5 long. So the width of my pocket is 10 inches. I have my zipper here, and I have zipper tabs that I made. And the zipper tabs, I usually just cut a little piece of fabric from the scraps that is 3 inches wide, and then the length, it's however long I need the zipper tab to be. So I fold my zipper tab fabric wrong sides together along the 3-inch mark, and then I stitch along the length at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. The reason why I do it that way, the zippers that I use are the zipper by the yard number 5, and the width of the zipper tape is 1.25. So I want to cover the entire zipper around, so that is, 2.5, and then I have my seam allowance, which is a 1/4 inch, so that's the 3. So I take my piece of fabric, this is the 3-inch side of it. Actually, this is a little bit longer, but this is the example. So this is 3 inches. I fold it, and then I stitch it along the length. Okay, and I make a little tube like this. I open the seam, and I slide that little tube right here on my zipper tape, making sure the part that has the stitch line is against the wrong side of the zipper tape. And I just slide that all the way until the raw edges match. Just like that. And I put a wonder clip or something, so I have that here, and I have another one that I made. Yeah, this one. Okay, so I do that first. I stitch them in place at a 1/4 inch seam allowance along the edge. So let me go ahead and do that right now. So I have my 2 zippers now, and we're gonna make the one with a the red background and white hearts. So now I'm just going to flip this. Of all the zipper tabs I've ever made, I found this method to be the easiest. And there it is. Okay. So now I have my zipper with my zipper tabs, and I just fold this to be the size I want it. If I need to trim this, make it a little bit smaller so that I fold the edges and make it the size that I want. I want this to be a total of 9 inches long, so 1 inch less than the width of your pocket. So if you make your pocket, say, I don't know, 12 inches wide, then your zipper, the end of the zipper needs to be 11 inches. So your zipper will be 10 inches. The final length of your zipper will be 11 inches because your pocket is 12. So always do the math that way. So now I'm just going to, sometimes I have to trim it off if I have too much excess fabric here. You just trim it off a little bit. And that makes it easier. So it's about 1.5 inches. That way, when I fold it in, it makes it way easier.
Consider liking this video and subscribing to this channel if you have learned something today.
Now, let's go ahead and measure. No, before we measure, sorry. We're going to add the zipper to the fabric here. So, take one panel, whichever one you want, and you're going to place your zipper right sides together along that panel, and you're going to leave about 1/2 inch difference, approximately from each edge. So you should have room. You should have enough room here on the sides from the zipper tab to the edge of your pocket. You should have at least 1/4 inch to help you turn it right side out. So that's why the zipper has to be a little bit smaller, because you want that space there. So like I said, at least 1/4 inch. I would do 1/2 inch, definitely. So do 1/2 inch and 1/2 inch right there. And now we're taking this to the sewing machine and we're going to stitch it in place. And you're going to stitch from the beginning of the zipper tab all the way to the end of the zipper tab. Use your zipper foot, of course, and try to stitch it, as close to the zipper teeth as you can, like you would do any zipper pocket. Okay, I got my 2 pockets here, and this is how they look, right? We just add the pockets on one side only of the zipper tape. We're not gonna finish them like this. We're gonna continue, but I wanted to show you how it looks. So we're going to, again, you stitch one side, and you flip it, and you stitch the other side, and this is what you have. Now, we're going to stitch all the sides, both sides and the bottom, and you're gonna leave an opening, okay? I'm just gonna stitch it, 1/4 inch seam allowance on each side. That's the reason why we are leaving this open here, is because you want to be able to stitch it and then turn it right side out through that opening in the bottom. Okay, what I'm going to do next is trim off the corners here, the pointy corners, so that when I fold it right side out, they're not super bold. Perfect. So of course we're going to push this on the inside. That's the raw, those are the raw edges. You can press these and, like I said, make them nice and flat. At this point, I'm also going to add my tags, the Psalms 34:5 tag, and my brand tag I'm gonna install on the outside, but here on the inside I'm going to add my Psalms 34:5. And if you buy any bags from me and you want to add your own Bible verse, I can do that. I can put your own Bible verse there, and then we can add them to the lining piece. I added my tag to both of them, and now we're ready to add them to the lining. And since this is going to be the top, I'm going to measure 3 inches down and draw a line. And this is my water soluble erasable pen. I'm not going to use the white side, of course, because of the fabric. I'm going to use the blue side. And I'm also going to find the middle. And again, these measurements, they're not the standard, like this is how you should measure. No, you can put this as high up as you want or as low as you want. You can put the pocket really wherever. You can make this bag as big as you want, as small as you want. I mean, that's however you want to do it is fine. I usually make it 18 inches, but when I quilted the exterior, it shrunk to 17. So that's what I'm doing. So that's why, oh, come on, don't dry on me. Okay. The next thing is we are going to take the zipper pocket that we just made, and we're gonna find that middle point, right side of the zipper, not on the wrong side. You're going to place your zipper pocket along the line that you mark, the 3-inch line, and down this, and you're gonna align the center of your zipper with the center that you marked here. But here's the thing, you're not going to put it here on the bottom side of the panel. You're going to put it on the top side of the panel, on the 3-inch section. And you're just going to align it like that, along the line and along that center. Right there. And in this case, you can take some pins and just add a couple of pins here on the sides to pin it in place. You can also use double-sided tape to place here on the top, and I guess we can do that. I can show you how to do that. Plus this is moving a little bit. The other one I made, I used the double-sided tape. Where is the double-sided tape? So I just used a little bit of double-sided tape here along the line that we drew, remember, along the 3-inch line side of it, okay? And you're just gonna place your zipper right there. It's all gonna make sense in a moment. Don't worry. We're gonna take this to the sewing machine, and you're going to stitch it along that line, very, very close to the edge of the zipper, like 1/8 of an inch seam allowance along the very edge of the zipper, right there. That's where you're going to stitch it. I'm gonna put this aside, and we're gonna do the other one. So here's the other one, and my line is almost disappeared now. So let me do my 3-inch line again. Really? This is a new pen, for goodness sakes. And take your double-sided tape, align it along the edge here. Not a long piece, just enough. But remember, on the 3-inch side of it. And you're going to place your pocket right side down, facing towards the 3-inch side. And find that middle. And just put it along that line. Okay? Beautiful. Now again, we're going to take it to the sewing machine and stitch it very close to the edge at 1/8 of an inch seam allowance along the top edge of the zipper tape. Okay. So here's how it looks, okay? It looks weird because you have the rest of your pocket here and then you have this little pocket. Okay, you have the rest of your lining here, and then you have this little pocket kind of hanging, okay? Because you're stitching it on the opposite side of your lining. What we are going to do now is we're going to fold this pocket to the right side, and you can close it if it makes it easier, which I am. And we are going to stitch along that zipper tape right here one more time. But you're going to stitch, along the edge so that it stays in place. Your pocket stays in place. So see how it's starting to look like a pocket? I'm gonna do the same here. Oop, I put the zipper tape on the wrong side. It's okay. Okay, so here it goes. We're going to fold this, and you're going to stitch very, very close to the edge of that zipper tape so that it stays in place. So once you stitch it here on the very top, like I'm doing right now, like I did here, that helps the pocket stay in place. Okay, that helps the pocket lay flat. And it makes it way easier to stitch it along the sides now, because now the pocket is not trying to lift and bubble up to the top. Because believe me, I tried that with this one, the very, very first one I made. It doesn't have that top stitching, and the pocket was, I did it, it's nice and smooth, but it gave me a little bit of hard time. When I did the second one and I stitched the top, it was like if the fabric just laid flat, and it was so much easier. So do that. Do that step, and you see how the fabric now just lays flat? Okay. And to finish up our pocket, well, of course we gotta trim off any extra threads. Just fold the bottom here as much as you can, obviously a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and stitch it along the edges all across from here to here, and the same here from here to here. Stitch it all the way around, and your pocket will be done. Let me show you the final results. This is how it looks. You open it and you have your pocket in there, just like you would have a pocket on any of your tote bags, but with a zipper. It's nice. It looks very nice. It's easy to make, and it just adds that extra little zipper to your tote bag that is so needed. So needed. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao.